part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
Welcome back, everybody, to Podcast 616, the official podcast of Earth 616. I am your host, Damon Royster, and today, just in time for Easter, we're doing a classic film. It's called Elektra, a.k.a. Jennifer Garner's last action movie. Joining me today are two brave souls. They've been resurrected and brought forth to talk to me about, this great fork movie. I do know that she uses sais, but for my purposes, those are forks. I'm joined by, oh my gosh, hailing from Brooklyn, New York, writer, director, and my favorite director to work with, I'll be honest. Sorry to all those commercial directors. Jan, I was in her horror movie. Please welcome to your ears, Caitlin Hollis.
Hello, my gosh, so flattering. You were also my favorite actor.
Wow. So rude to the other five actors in that movie, but I'll take the win. Caitlin, how are you doing today?
I'm so good. I woke up this morning with a cup of coffee and settled in for Elektra, so it's a good day.
Ooh. Are you fresh from the fight of watching Elektra?
I'm fresh from this fight. I'm like 15 minutes out from watching it.
Oh my gosh.
I timed it perfectly.
That is amazing. I love to be, yes, you're going to be great for this. Next to Caitlin in the Zoom squares, this person is a writer, filmmaker, and low-key my neighbor. Please open your ears, Dave Berenato.
Hey, happy to be here. Thank you.
Dave, how are you doing?
I'm coming off of a very busy week, so I'm excited to have some fun.
Oh, and you think that's what we're going to do here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Y'all, we watched Elektra, and I've actually, so at this point, I've watched it 2 times, technically 2.5, because as the people who are guesting on my podcast will see, it is playing in the background in my bedroom right now. A very tender moment is happening. So this is my first time watching this movie this week. So I'm like catching up on Elektra. I want to go to Caitlin Hollis first, because I sent out a mass email begging people to be on this podcast. You would think it'd be easy. It's kind of hard. Caitlin was the first to respond, and your first choice was this movie. So I gotta ask, why?
So
there was a lot of movies on the list.
Like some really good movies. I was like, I'll do Elektra.
Thank you.
Okay, so when I was a kid, we had like a sunroom like on our house, and we had like a really shitty TV out there, and that's where we would watch. That's where the kids would hang out. And I watched Elektra on that porch a ton because it was always on, I think, like FX or something.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
And I hadn't seen it. I think when I was between it came out when I was like 11. I think between the ages of like 11 and 13, I probably saw it at least like 10 times just on TV while I was doing other stuff. And I haven't seen it since then. And I was watching the movie and I was like, why did I like this so much? And then I remembered when the scene happened, and I don't know if we want to give it away or jump ahead, but there's a sapphic moment.
Okay. Ooh, surprise us.
Yeah, I will give nothing away. But I was like, oh, that's why this movie, that's a 13-year-old repressed lesbian in Georgia.
It's gonna get you.
So that's why I volunteered.
Okay, thank you, and thank you for bringing up FX, because when I was watching this, I was like, this has very FX vibes. Like, remember when FX would do that like DVD on TV thing where they would play the special features in between the commercials?
Yep.
I feel like they did this for this. Okay, Dave, you watched Elektra with me, and I believe it was your first time as well watching it.
Yeah, I mean, I did not volunteer to watch this. I was more drafted, but
Interesting.
I'd actually never heard of this movie until about 2 weeks ago, which is interesting. I mean, I was probably too busy watching like Hannah Montana or whatever.
That'll do it.
That tracks. So I was very excited to dive into the world of Jennifer Garner's acting or action.
No, I think you were right. Dive into Jennifer Garner's acting choices. Yeah. And so, Dave, this is actually a great transition. So, Dave, I know you actually watched Daredevil in
Hmm.
anticipation for this. Listeners of this podcast, Isaac Snyder, my only friend I know who listens, we just did Daredevil last week. So, Dave, as we get started with this, would you say there are any connections with the movie Daredevil and Elektra?
Ooh, just in her pain that she carries into this new movie is from
Mhm.
her lost love. I watched Daredevil on Monday, and that was a rewatch for me from childhood. And then this movie was new to me. So I don't know if you know if there is a deleted scene with Ben Affleck. I
Yes.
In
was in
no,
Elektra.
what does he do? Probably
Do you want me to
nothing.
do you want me to do the line readings?
Uh,
It's
do you
three
have the line?
lines.
Please do
Yeah,
the
or it's
line
out because
readings.
Printed
I feel like it's
off
really
the
important.
script.
God,
I
please.
just have the script printed out next to me. So she basically wakes up. She's in the house somewhere, and we'll get into where she might be. We don't know where she is, but
Mhm.
she's in the hit house, and she sees Ben Affleck sitting on the bed, and he says, "Come back, Elektra." And she looks at him, and she's like in pain. She's like, "No, I've been revived." She doesn't say this. She says, "When I'm ready." That's her response because she's alive now. They were dead together. They were dead together in this beautiful afterlife. And he just
Oh
says,
wow.
"I'll be waiting for you." And then she wakes up.
So he's
It was a
dead?
dream.
Wow.
Wait, is he not dead?
No, he didn't die in
Yeah,
Daredevil.
You're right. He just got
Uh-uh.
stabbed in the heart and then did a backflip.
Yeah, that only kills female superheroes. Fascinating. Thank you,
That's
Dave.
interesting.
Applause for Dave. Beautiful line reading. Okay, let's get into this movie. Caitlin Hollis, famously,
Mhm.
you are an assassin for hire. Would you have gone about taking out Jason Isaacs the same way that Elektra did?
What, that's the guy is that the guy she stabs in the very beginning?
In the very beginning, yes. Lucius
Yeah.
Malfoy.
Yes, that is him. The
Mm-hmm.
movie is honestly so dark you can't see his face.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, I loved specifically that she chooses to get really close and whisper, "I'm gonna kill you," or whatever. And then she jumps 20 feet backwards again, and then she throws the knife from 20 feet away. I think it's pretty practical to make things as hard as possible when you are assassinating people.
Right.
That's my favorite part.
Because you want the people you're killing to remember you.
Yes. And then like the slow, like it's so obvious that that they're just obsessed with the Matrix because everything in this movie is slow motion. So of course she
Mhm.
stabs him. The drama of the glass falling to the floor, shatter, slow motion. And it's like Elektra. And I'm like, let's
Yeah.
boogie. And then there's no action for 40 more minutes.
No.
Only voiceover explaining everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, we skipped over the original voiceover. I think Dave and I both laughed at the phrase "a motherless daughter," which is so unnecessary and cruel.
Yes, they're like, in the world, a motherless daughter. So,
Can you think of anything more
so sad.
disgusting?
Yeah. Can you imagine a woman without a father?
Who does she talk to?
Did you guys see that interview with James Cameron where he was like, "You know what's cooler than a woman action hero? A mother action hero." Like he's just so obsessed with mother. He's like, "Well, she's fine, but could she be a mother?"
James Cameron, when famously Zoe Saldana is barely in Avatar 2, The Way of Water.
Say that.
Yeah, I saw that shit. Dave Berenato.
Yes, Berenato.
Berenato? So you say. Dave Berenato. You famously are the keeper of When Women Are Serving.
Yeah.
My question for you, do you agree with this statement that because women were so underwritten in this era of film that they started to serve looks, in as opposed to having character depth? Do you agree with this statement?
Okay, let me process this for a second.
Such an odd question. I'm so sorry. I just had this thought because I'm just watching Jennifer Garner. That scene, her hair is just blow. They never really explain why her hair is blowing in the wind.
So much hair.
We're
It
in
looks like a Victoria's Secret commercial.
I feel like we're in an era of very iconic, like female driven movies. Like we're coming off the heels of maybe Mean Girls and like Legally Blonde. Like this is an era where, fashion is so good in movies, and
Mhm.
to put her in this movie and to make her do flips and I don't know. I wish she just kind of walked around and her little heels clacked on things. She could also kill people.
You just want more clacking. Like
in like a cool, scary way. Like she could still kill people, but to work on the sound design people. She's wearing leather.
I mean, Dave,
there's no squishing.
Yeah, what you're describing is Alias.
I know, a show I have not seen.
Oh, if you
I
want to
love
see
Alias.
if you want to see Jay Garner clack around in different outfits and wigs, the wig game is unmatched. No one is, not even Drag Race has reached the height of the wigs that Alias went to.
I love Alias so much. And this poor woman had to, on her break from making a popular, cool TV show, had to go make this movie.
Yeah, between
She
Emmy
had
noms.
to.
Yeah. She
signed that contract, baby.
She signed a contract, like after Daredevil, they were like, we have.
Yes. She famously has said in interviews, she's like, I didn't want to do this movie. I didn't think it was good. But my cameo in Daredevil, that contract required me to do a full Elektra movie as well. So she
We
got
need to
stuck
storm Kevin Feige's house right now.
He was not. No, he's not responsible.
Not there yet.
He's a child in this movie.
I think we saw he's billed as a co-producer. I feel like he had nothing to do with Elektra.
This is Frank Miller's fault.
He wrote the contract.
He at least printed it out. So we meet Elektra. She's like killing, wheeling, dealing. This bitch even has an agent. I'm like, why can't I get one? Is that the right term for the person who sends you on your assassin assignments? Her agent?
That's what she called him. And that really irritated me because I just feel like I like imagine he walks in with his little briefcase and he's like, I'm trying to find some business for you, honey. Yeah. And he's it's like a 1950s film agent. I'm trying to find some business for you. And she's like, I ain't working. And he's like, you got to get out there and work, baby. And I'm like,
yeah.
Agent?
Also, that scene is hilarious when he walks in and she's cleaning and he's like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm cleaning DNA. I do it every day. And I'm like, you're cleaning DNA with your hair out, no mask, breathing literally everywhere.
Like in your house?
Confusing to me. Is that her house where she lives? And she's like, oh no, I like got dust particles on the ground. I need to wipe them off.
I think so. So like they can't find her, but I'm like, you live here. We leave DNA everywhere. There's so many fingerprints.
Does she have DNA though? She's been resurrected.
Well, she thinks she does because then she's cleaning.
Yeah, she's like, the science is out.
Do resurrected ninjas have DNA? That's the science I need to know.
Do they have social security numbers?
I mean, they used to.
In their first life.
Yeah. I mean, numbers don't go away. Numbers are always here. And that's the tea.
I'm still stuck on the Daredevil is still alive thing. She wouldn't just like go visit him.
I also agree with that. It's like she's just like, oh, I have to be alone. This is that era of superhero movies where it's like, we are noble warriors. We can't have fun ever.
Mm-mm.
Caitlin Hollis, our researcher Michael, found that you spent some time in a dojo taught by a white man who's blind, and he taught you how to fight. Would you feel that the master-student relationship with Stick and Elektra was very similar to your experience?
Yeah, I think so. I also went to the only white dojo in the world for assassins. The best assassins in the world, obviously.
Obviously, they would know best.
Yeah. And I felt like my experience with, like my Stick, Twig, that was the name of my guy. He wasn't as big on the scene. Yeah, we trained and he kicked me out because I too was too powerful. Because like Elektra's too powerful to be taught. Her rage is uncontrollable. I mean, you saw her in that one flashback.
Oh my God. Yeah.
She's uncontrollable.
And then every time that annoying teen Abby, we'll get to her in a minute, when she breaks into her house, she keeps grabbing her wrist and Abby's like, ow. Oh, my wrist.
Oh, my wrist. Where's my really long necklace?
It's like also an amazing discussion about mental health in that scene. Like she has rage, she's got all this stuff, but she also has OCD, and we do need to talk about that.
Yeah, the one time where it's like, do you have OCD? And she's like, absolutely not. And then we never bring it up again.
She's like, I did when I was a kid. She's like, I heard you counting. And she's like, shut up.
She was fully counting.
Shut up, Abby.
Like, if you count, you have OCD. Numbers, baby. They don't go away.
Well, let's get to Abby. So, Elektra's agent comes by and he's like, you booked, bitch. So she hops on a boat to me and Dave were trying to figure this out. Caitlin, do you have any insight? Is this Norway or Canada? Where is she? Where is the rest of this movie taking place?
Is it New Zealand?
I think it looks like, if we want to look at the foliage when they're running through the woods, I think it looks like Canada or like Pacific Northwest, because these ferns are very twilighty, So
an epic comparison, yes.
Yeah.
Can you settle a debate about whether it's actually Christmas though, or whether the dad is just obsessed with Christmas? That he's like a year-round Christmaser?
It's got to be a year-round Christmaser because there's no snow and they are not in coats.
That's what I said. Maybe it's a southern hemisphere though. That's like giving me maybe it's December in New Zealand.
True.
There's ferns.
Because I think it is Christmas Day, because I think that's why they invited her over, and that's why she's like, I spent
That is
Christmas
a
with them.
sad Christmas.
Yeah,
This is
Elektra's
sad
sad.
But it's sad for them too. Like they could have it's their Christmas dinner and they couldn't prepare like a roast.
Dave, they're on the run from the hand, okay? Because his daughter is the treasure. Don't make me explain the plot of Elektra to
Right,
you.
of course.
Okay, so Dave Berenato, you are, you're hiding out in this foliage area. You have an apartment. I assume you killed the previous owners based upon context clues. And then there's a teen who breaks in. Would you hurl a box cutter at her or talk to her?
Knowing that I could just get the side of her sleeve to like scare her, I would definitely hurl the box cutter.
Wonderful. Dave,
if I had that aim.
Dave, bring Abby into the conversation. How do you feel?
Okay. Abby she's angst incarnate. She is like the epitome of whatever 18 to play younger age she is.
They listed her as 13. That is a grown-ass woman. She is I said when I first watched this, she is the receptionist at a law firm.
Yeah. I mean, what are they going to do? Wrap her out after 8 hours? Come on. Long days. We're between seasons of Alias.
Jennifer's got to go.
She's in a hurry.
She needs to divorce Michael Vartan.
Oh, yeah.
No? Do we not? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that would cause more of a ruckus. Michael Vartan
just said
was
a man's name.
He was her co-star on Alias, and they were married.
Yes, and they divorced, so then she goes and she's with Ben Affleck.
Yep.
Because they
in
met
real
on
life.
Daredevil.
Wait, so she's just marrying her co-stars. That's Jennifer Garner's thing.
Kind of, yeah.
She does not have time to meet other people.
No.
That makes sense.
She's a woman who works.
Yeah.
Okay, Abby Angst Incarnate is just, again, we get the wrist, like, my wrist, she's very, like, you
Because she stole something.
Yes, the necklace, which is from Daredevil, the movie. And it's such a bad movie. I don't know why I have to go into this, but didn't she leave that necklace for Ben Affleck at the end of Daredevil? And he was like, she's still alive. Did I make that up?
Same? It's the same one?
I
Doesn't
thought
she
it
say it's from her
was.
mom in this movie?
In this movie, yeah. It's her mom's necklace that she got.
It's her mom's name, Elektra. Does it say? It says Elektra, right?
You said that, and I agreed.
It's like the whole Greek alphabet, like just down the necklace.
Wait,
I don't.
hold on. No,
We'll never know about the necklace. We'll never know where the scenes take place. We'll never know where we are.
You know where I want to be? I want to be wherever Goran Viznik is. Goran Viznik?
Yeah.
He plays Mark.
You're great at last name pronunciation.
Wow. He'll never say it outright, but he'll find a way around it. I love Mark so much. This actor is so handsome. He was on ER. Basically, when George Clooney left, they brought him in to be the next handsome doctor, and it worked. Caitlin, how do you feel about this dad, Mark? Good dad or bad dad? The people want to know.
Let's see. As a dad, I would say, as a fellow dad, that I think he's kind of a wet blanket of a dad, honestly. Like, if you want to keep your treasure, the most, future best assassin alive, you're going to go to some just like shitty always Christmas cabin. No, you need to get some good high security. You need to get a good basement, or just let her stay with the other ninja people. Like,
yeah,
that's what I think. Like, let her go be a great assassin.
Mhm.
Don't hide her skills from the world. I think this dad doesn't tell his daughter, you are special. It could be anything you want. He
Not at
hides
all.
her.
She's a motherless daughter. He's worried.
What's a motherless daughter in this world to do?
If not a future mother.
Yeah. And yeah, so she's the treasure. And I mean, okay, go with me on this. Is this the same thing as like the concept of the Supreme in American Horror Story Coven? Because like Elektra was a treasure, as was typhoid.
Mhm.
Typhoid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like typhoid
And-
fever.
Typhoid fever. Yes, famously. And then Abby is the next treasure. Is it like this thing of like, and like typhoid is like, she's got this touch and kiss of death because she's, craggy and she's out of it. She's over. She's the old Supreme. And now Elektra's the current one and Abby's the next one. So like, is Elektra going to get that like touch of death power?
That's such an interesting question. Is there a new treasure every generation? Does one treasure must kill another treasure to fully step into their treasureness?
Ooh.
Mm.
It's also great to think about this training school. Like one girl shows up and they're like, she's the new treasure. All you boys, like, oh, sit somewhere.
Get out of here. Get out of her way.
Get out
There's
of our
a new
frame.
white girl.
Yeah, she has to be white.
We have a new
That's true.
motherless white girl, and she is here to be the next great assassin.
Yeah, because Asian culture is all about worshiping white women.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
love it. My God, this movie, I feel like we're doing a lot of work for this movie that it wouldn't even think to do. So I hope it's grateful.
We're punching up the script as needed.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Can we talk about the line, speaking of like Mark, the like romantic scene line that like when they kiss, she's like, I hated that. And it's like, that's like the big like romance line. So then when
Mhm.
they kiss again, he's like, I hated that. And I'm like, I hate that. No, I hate that. That's
don't
what
even think
hate. Who wrote
I don't
this?
think I even realized it was a callback. I thought he was just being a dick.
I mean, I like the second time because it's funny to me that Mark thinks like, oh, this is gonna get her. I hated that too. And it's like,
She's
dude,
like-
you
He's
don't
like,
get
oh
it.
my God. I said that earlier. Shut up. No, you shut up. Where's Abby?
Well, folks, we're all gonna shut up for a second because it's time for a break. When we come back, we're gonna get into the highs and lows of big business hiring ninjas. You know what I'm talking about, the Hand. The villains of this movie. And all the bed sheets that they'll use to win the day. Can't believe we're talking about Elektra. You too. I'll send you something. Thank you so much for doing this. But listener, you better keep it right here because we're doing a lot of work for you. So please keep it right here to Podcast 616, and we'll be right back after this break.
Hello, Brooks here with the Books with Brooks monthly book club podcast. Here's how Books with Brooks works. We read one book a month and then we talk about it. Classics like Stephen King's The Shining, debut novels like We Are the Brennans by Tracy Lang, and tons of other compelling, life-changing stories, one book and 1 month at a time. So come read along with us and then listen in.
Welcome, everyone, to Podcast 616, the official podcast of Earth 616. I am your host, Damon Royster, and I am inviting you to listen and subscribe to this Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. On Podcast 616, we gather some of today's greatest comedians, writers, and actors to dive deep into all things Marvel, like comic book history and lore, all the interconnected superhero storylines, and of course, who's hot and who's not in the MCU. Honestly, why aren't you listening right now? You have the power to listen to Podcast 616. And as we always say, with great power comes even greater responsibility. Listen and subscribe to Podcast 616 wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey everyone, this is Don Mike Mendoza, the host of Producing While Asian. Join us in Season 2 for more conversations with actors, artists, producers, and more from Broadway, Hollywood, and beyond, every other Wednesday on the Press Play Podcast Network.
And we're back. Okay, so Faceless Corporation, aka The Hand, Caitlin Hollis. I think you interned with The Hand one summer. Can you tell us what that was like for you?
It was really easy, I think, because they forgot I was there. Because I was just walking around constantly saying, "Who are you? And what do you do?" And is this whole building this one conference room?
It's such a big building, but we only see the one
conference room. They can never answer any of my questions. They were just like, bring us more, I guess nothing, because there's nothing on the conference table. Nothing. So I did nothing. It was an easy resume filler, you know?
Yeah. What is the purpose of a conference table? I'm pondering. Like, are they handing out flyers or something? Like, at what point do you just like, can't we just email or like just meet in someone's office? I don't know.
It's crazy they don't even know about Zoom yet.
Man, once they figure that out, they're like, what the fuck? Like, especially because we're doing illegal activities. Why are we all meeting in one spot? All right, Dave Berenato. Is that how you say your name?
I've been saying Berenato, but feel free to like do whatever.
Berenato sounds right. Dave Berenato. Okay. So in this movie, The Hand, very logically, they send Elektra. She befriends the family. They send Elektra to kill the dad and daughter. She befriends them. Then they send 2 ninjas, and she forks them to death. Dave, the next thing they do is they send 5 assassins. They send 1, then they send 2, then they send 5. I love it. It makes sense to me. So of the 5 assassins, can you run me through who they are and how you felt about them?
Okay, let's see. I remember a Typhoid, the girl one.
The girl one.
There's Stone. He's really tall. Tattoo.
Yeah, I have. I wrote down Dave's favorite.
I don't know. I mean, Stone and I, you know.
Ooh. You want the big stone man?
Yeah.
Crushed by a tree?
Big boy.
Just body slam me.
Big boy.
Cannot be stabbed by a knife, but absolutely can be smashed by a dead tree.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. What a sad death.
She broke her fork on him, right?
Yeah. Fork broke right in half.
Damn.
That's my man.
That's my man. Go find it. He's under a tree.
Oh, man.
Yes. So, and then we also have Kuriji, who is the leader of this group. He is the son of the master of the hand. And we find out that he was actually the one who killed Elektra's mother.
Yes, he was not the like 90s era like demon makeup that we saw.
Yeah. You know, when you're young, you miss, you know. I also love that this young white girl walked in on an Asian man and she thought it was the devil.
She's like, that's the devil.
That's the absolute devil.
That's the devil.
Like, I've never seen a non-white person.
Almost like. So here's what I'll say. This is where this movie works for me. The reveals, the twists, the gaggery is there. The gags are there. Like the fact that Abby and Mark are the targets. I'm just like, I just spent Christmas with them. Now I have to kill them. And then they twist that, okay, Abby is the treasure and she can fight. And she's got her little necklace of lasso thing. So fucking dumb. And then that, what's his name? Kuriji killed Elektra's mother. And it's like, oh my gosh. Like it's all there to be a success, but they just fail at every turn.
I think it's all the pacing of this movie. Like, I think you hit like specifically when they're like the dinner table scene and she's just like hanging out with them and like we don't know that that's who she's supposed to murder yet.
Mhm.
We still don't know who the hand is. We don't know who the treasure is. We still don't know so much, but they haven't wanted us to know.
No.
You're just like, what is this about? This is supposed to be an assassin. Why isn't she assassinating people?
Mhm.
And that's like 45 minutes in. And then like the
Yeah.
last 45 is like decent. But
Mhm.
that middle
At
chunk
least
of this
decent.
movie is rough.
It's rough. Call your dog because this movie's pretty rough.
Bark, bark.
Bark, bark, baby. Caitlin Hollis, I think we've reached, the scene that you want to talk about. So let's say you're running through the woods trying to protect this father-daughter,
Mhm.
and then you learn this daughter can do karate, which I don't think is that unbelievable. But Elektra is like stopped in her tracks. She's like, oh my God, she can fight? Bitch, what? And then typhoid arrives. And I believe, is this the moment,
Mhm,
the
yeah.
sapphic moment you hinted at?
Yes, she just like pops up from the woods and like slows in slow motion, and like to deliver just like a simple kiss of death, she's like going for it. She's like kissing, they're kissing, two girls kissing while also killing her. And I'm like, wow, 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 wow. and it's sorry, my dog is also really gay, so she got like so excited for a second.
Talk about typhoid.
She's not talking about ladies kissing. Yeah, so I think I completely forgot that happened, and when it popped up I was like, I remembered that as a kid. I think I skipped the middle 30 minutes of the movie, just went to that scene and then kept going, because the actress who plays Typhoid is like doing like a kiss, like she's like moving her lips and she's
Oh,
like
yeah.
into it, and like Jennifer Garner's like, I'm doing fish lips.
Okay. Right. This is a podcast. I'm
This
just
is
like fully watching.
as a visual medium,
A
as
visual
this
medium.
is. Yes,
Yes,
of
yes.
course. Yeah, and it's like a long kiss. I'm like, this is great. I love it. We don't
It's
need to get
amazing.
into the idea that like a lesbian kiss means death, but like
Oh, I was.
The political context
the
of
political
this.
context of Elektra.
Like, I've never seen something so gay, but also so homophobic. Because it's like,
Yeah.
it's a lesbian kiss, but she does die.
She's gonna die. It kills her
It's a
instantly.
Very Bush era lesbian kiss.
Yes. Don't ask, don't tell, because she's dead after
But
the
that's how
kiss.
anti-sodomy laws. DOMA.
Yeah.
Come on.
Don't. Oh my God. The good old days.
2005, baby.
So I do have the page pulled up for the MTV Movie Award for Best Kiss from 2005.
I saw
which
that.
we do need to talk about.
They were nominated. Dave, take us there, please.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
Who
like
did
I was
they-
saying,
Who did they lose to? I would love to know.
do you want to guess? It's a very, very famous kiss.
2005.
hmm
Who's kissing in 2005?
Who was kissing in 2005?
One of them is.
Is it her and
Rush-
Daredevil? Because what, that movie was like in the same year
They're
almost.
She's double
It's
nominated.
competing. And they're
Jennifer
like,
Garner, come on.
it can't be the gay one. Give her the straight kiss. 2005.
It's a Nicholas Sparks one.
Oh my
is this The
gosh.
Notebook?
It has to be the
Mhm.
Notebook.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
kiss in the rain. It still isn't over.
I mean, we could have
recently-
given the award to Jennifer Garner. I don't know.
We could have done something for Jennifer Garner. I think.
The world we live in right now, if this one Best Kiss.
Well, I mean, famously, Sarah Michelle Gellar and Selma Blair won for Best Kiss in 1999 for Cruel Intentions. So never forget. And then they did kiss when they
I
won
haven't.
the award. That
I
was
still
huge.
haven't forgotten.
I feel like if it's a lesbian kiss that wins, they always kiss at the award.
Yes.
Because they're like, gotta get that viewership. And I'm like, okay, I'm watching.
Look at that viewership for the
I'm tuning
MTV
in.
Movie Awards.
I'm tuning in.
Okay. Dave Berenato.
Yes.
We've had some fun. This beat is sick. I want to talk to you about the master Stick. How do you feel about Stick? Did he register with you at all? If I hadn't have told you he was blind, would you have noticed?
You said it pretty early on, but definitely I had not noticed in the first few moments that we were engaging with him as a master. I thought he was like 4 different other white actors that we all cycled through trying to figure out who he
You're
was.
trying- It's so sad.
We-
This actor whose name I won't say, on his Wikipedia page, his like known credits, one of them is Elektra, and I was like, that's so sad.
And Haunted Mansion.
Oh, is he in it with Eddie Murphy?
Mm-hmm.
Never
He's
seen.
really good in it.
Don't stop.
Good for him. Good for him.
But yeah, how did Stick work for you, Dave?
I respect that he found like the one slay queen white girl in his like troop and was like, she's the best. I only care about her for sure. That resonated. Even being blind, he was like, this girl is slaying.
This girl fucking slays.
So I was happy about that. See myself represented on screen. I don't know. That's just what I felt in watching Stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very fair. Okay, so oh shit. Well, it was playing on my TV. My TV turned off because I paused the movie, but
Oh,
I want to take us to the final act of this movie where they return to Elektra's home. She of course astral projects herself to Kirigi and challenges him to a fight. I'm not going to get into all her other powers, how she can see the future. And you know what? And you know why I'm not going to get into it? Because I already saw it in That's So Raven.
but I think it's important. Oh, sorry.
No, please. Why do you think it's important?
I think it's important that there's like a lot of almost Christian stuff to this movie. Like there is a resurrection story. There is like she can do these miracles. There's Easter. There's Christmas. Like it's so weird how heavily influenced it is.
Truly. And I mean, she didn't die for our sins. She was killed by Colin Farrell. So she's like, if you want her, come get her. You want the treasure? Also, oh, I'm sorry, real quick. Abby fucking dyes her hair to look just like Elektra, and I think that's fucking weird.
I can get why they do it because they want Elektra to be like seeing herself in this girl, but then I'm like, no one would want to look exactly like this. No, it's freaky, it's weird, and the bangs are bad.
Bangs are bad. I thought it was gonna be like a moment where like Abby gets killed because someone thought it was Elektra. Like there was gonna be like that kind of like misinterpretation. They don't use it at all. It's just also, do we think Abby has like an actual crush on Elektra? Like, I think Abby.
There's some motherless issues there. You know what I mean? There's some
Motherless
motherless daughter
daughter.
mummy
Mummy.
issues.
Okay, so we're in this house. Elektra comes in again. This bitch knows how to serve. She know, like when she's ready to kill, she's also ready to do a drag performance because she's got this coat and then the reveal of the outfit that we have seen before.
Yeah.
But
They didn't change it from the beginning of the movie.
it's the same outfit.
It's
But
the
she's like
same outfit.
They could have added some glitter. Come on.
a little bit of glitter. Or I also in the comics, Elektra has like a little like bandana thing on her head, and I
That would have been such a cool moment. It's just like
Yeah.
puts on the bandana and gets ready for her fight.
What is that? Violet Beauregard, or is it not Beauregard? Who are the kids from Series of Unfortunate Events?
Oh, Baudelaire.
Baudelaire, where she like
Yeah.
ties her hair up when she's going to invent something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good reference.
Little literary reference on this superhero podcast. Books. Okay, so she's doing this fight. Caitlin Hollis, can you explain to me or Dave Berenato, Michael producer, anybody, why are the sheets flying in this fight scene? I don't get it.
And they never touch the ground.
They never touch the ground.
They never touch the ground. I can't figure out if it's like, can his mystical powers control these sheets?
Yeah,
like,
Kirigi, yeah.
If they're just trying to make it like a cool, like cinematic thing, I'm like, that was your big idea. Sheets.
Sheets.
The big idea are the sheets.
That was like always in every draft of the script. She fights with sheets flying everywhere.
And then a
It
sheet
was in the
will
pitch book.
fall on her to the pitch. And like a sheet will fall on her and she'll emerge from the sheet in a way her mother never could. Because, there's the big dramatic sheet falling on her mom.
Yes.
PTS sheets.
Wow.
Also,
Okay, this is working for me
sheets.
now.
Yeah.
The symbolism.
Yeah, the symbolism.
Because like they have those flashbacks. First, the servants are putting the sheets on
Mhm.
because the house has been abandoned.
Yes.
No one goes.
Right. Sheets equal death.
Yes,
Mhm.
the nachos have left.
I made my roommate
Their summer home.
Their summer home. I made my roommates watch with me. And when they're like putting all the sheets on, I'm like, where do rich people buy so many white sheets? What? Do they just have these in case someone's died? Cover up the furniture, baby.
It must come with the house. It must.
It's gotta.
Yeah, wholesale.
Wholesale.
All right.
I think in the way that Jennifer Garner was like contractually obligated to do this, there was probably like a visual effects company that was contractually obligated to do this movie. And they're like, what do we throw in here? Come on, we have a tree falling.
They just got done doing laundry detergent commercials, and they're like, we can make sheets look good.
Same like software.
Yeah.
Like, we saved all of this. We saved all of this stuff.
Yeah.
What are we
Bounty
going to
loved
use
it.
it?
Yeah.
Elektra.
Wow.
Okay, so the sheet fight happens. Good for them. We then, for some reason, stumble into the set of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
And The Shining.
And The Shining combined. Combined, you get Elektra. And I'll
They're like
stand by that.
references.
Yeah. So we get a little maze action. I mean, what happens? She beats Karuji at the well,
Yes.
and then Typhoid kills Abby. Thank God.
But with a kiss, do we see it? We don't see her die.
She blows a kiss.
She blows a
because
kiss,
she's
which-
a
Okay.
child.
Like the guy in the conference room, she blows a little kiss at him.
Mhm,
Yes,
mhm.
the weakest member of the hand, the pinky of the hand, if you will, destroys him. I'm just gonna yada 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 this. Elektra carries Abby up to her bedroom. It's literally a shot by shot. It looks just like an episode of Buffy. And I realized, oh, this is Buffy inspired because
Mhm.
also we didn't talk about all the villains are demons who just die in a puff of smoke.
Puff of smoke.
True.
Unforgivable. Absolutely unforgivable.
Um,
It's suddenly Ghostbusters.
It's like green
Yeah.
smoke too. Yeah. Very good.
Because they're like clearly the mutants, I guess. Mutants that then get
Mhm.
mystical powers.
Mhm.
And then, but they turn to a puff of smoke, which we skimmed over. But I have to say, throwing the fork through 9 to 15 layers of
Hedges.
hedge
Yeah,
Stab.
layers of hedge.
to be stabbed, I'm like, incredible. Incredible. The most powerful forks in the world.
Oh yeah.
Do you think
I
that's
mean,
like a Daredevil reference that she like closes her eyes? She's like, I know where Typhoid is, and like launches her
Ooh.
fork.
why not?
Why not?
I say why not?
Why not? But also, like, it's her house. Like she knows the maze. You know,
Yeah.
she's learned that maze.
And she's great at throwing those forks. So yeah, Typhoid gets forked in the face. And then Elektra revives Abby like Jesus, brings her back to life. And then she just pieces out.
Mhm.
Just leaves.
Dave Berenato, famously, you resurrect people. Such a gift to the world you are. And you had this kind of a similar thing happen to you where you like befriended a single father and resurrected his daughter and like you had a kiss and
Yeah.
he's like, I hated that. I mean, would you stay? Would you like stay with his family or would you just go on the run again?
Yeah, because I would think that as a woman, my greatest calling would be to be a mother-daughter.
A mother to a
mothering
daughter.
Yeah. So I would, and first of all, they're like the only two zombies in the universe that we know of left. So like, why not raise her with her like dilf of a dad? Come on.
Oh my God. I would never leave that man. Not to give away where I'm going at the end of this podcast, but I would never leave them.
So I had to look him up because I didn't know who he was, but I found out that he is the bad guy in Practical Magic. Spoiler alert for the 1998 movie Practical Magic. Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock kill him and bury his body.
He's the bad boyfriend?
Yeah.
And he resurrects as well, right?
He also
Yes.
gives of a spell, yeah.
Man.
And he's
looks
in
so much-
Dollface.
He looks so different.
To my Dollface fans out there, he's in Dollface as Brenda Song's boyfriend.
Oh, I've never seen it. Is that the TV show?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I've been told to watch this.
It's great. He's hot in that too. I mean, he's not as hot in Practical Magic, but
Yeah, I think because he's the villain in Practical Magic, they like really scruff him up.
Mhm.
I'll go him up.
Yeah, but how he looks in Elektra is usually how I've seen him. And I would never leave that man. Any final thoughts about Elektra before we go into our final segment?
I want a new Elektra. I want them to make another Elektra again. And I want Jennifer Garner to be the trainer. And I want them to have a new treasure.
Well,
And that's
I mean,
what I'm asking.
I will say in the Daredevil TV series on Netflix, which is now on Disney Plus,
Mhm.
they do this whole plot with Elektra
Mm.
and her resurrection and everything, and it's a little bit more dramatic and like it's better, but it's still like a dark like, what happened to you, Elektra? They still have figured out how to have fun with this character.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, she's very serious.
She's so serious. Never says anything above a whisper. That's how serious she is.
Oh, yeah.
And also, I'll say it again. Shout out to my favorite line from the movie Daredevil, said by Elektra, when Daredevil's like, "I didn't kill your father," and she just goes, "Liar." Just the staccato "liar" is so great.
I will say,
Yes.
so Damon and I watched this together, and I got out a notebook because, as he knows, I take all my jobs very seriously. But then immediately
Hilarious.
realized that it was too dark to take notes. So all I had on the note page was knit sweaters, just written down knit sweaters. And I did finish the joke if you guys want to hear it, but it's bad. Maybe we can workshop it together.
Okay.
What else are we here to do, please?
So I wrote, the knit sweaters in Elektra walked so that the knit sweaters in Big Little Lies could run. That's the joke.
Wow. That's
I
good.
think.
Because there's so many sweaters in this.
I mean, I
At
would
least in
only
the first half.
Oh yeah, I would only swap out Big Little Lies with Chris Evans' sweater and Knives Out.
The best
But-
sweater ever.
Oh, the best sweater.
That's the
The
only
best
punch up I would
sweater.
have. The best sweater.
Okay, thank
All
you for the
right.
punch up. This is why we were writing Elektra. We should be writing Elektra.
Yeah. Oh my god. Crazy idea.
I'd write Elektra.
Our
Okay.
pitch book is just sheets.
I mean, number one, we have to have the sheets. Those have to come back.
She's gonna come
Yeah.
back. People want the sheets.
People want the sheets. And you know what else people want? They want to hear fuck, marry, kill. It's time, everybody, for your favorite segment. I know that's why you listen. It's fuck, marry, kill. We're gonna pick 3 characters from Elektra. One of them will fuck, one of them will marry, one of them will kill. You know how to play it. On the docket this week, we've got Elektra titular star Jennifer Garner herself, but it's Elektra, not Jennifer Garner. Elektra. Also, we've got Mark, Daddy. You know, the only, what would I say? A daughterful father. He's not
A girl
daughterless.
dad, as they say now.
A girl dad.
No.
Yeah.
And our third option is Typhoid, Kiss of Death. Good
Oh.
luck to whoever chooses this one. I will go first to give my guest time to think. I'm going to kill Typhoid. I don't want to be anywhere near this touch of death. I don't think I'll have an immaculate white woman to resurrect me. So I'm just going to say pass on Typhoid. I think someone else will have a different answer than that. But for me, I'm going to pass. And we're going to kill Typhoid. Same way Elektra killed her, fork to the eye through 15 hedges of bush. For my fuck, I'm going to fuck Elektra. But it has to be, the lighting has to be right. I want her hair to be blowing every which way but loose. And I don't know. The forks will be there. I don't know. I don't want to touch them. I just want to look at them while we're interacting with each other. And I don't know. I think that's the right word. I'm gonna fuck Elektra. You know, maybe we won't enjoy it, but for one night, I can do it for one night. And I'm gonna marry Mark because Elektra's a fucking idiot to walk away. Yeah, walk away from Daredevil, fine. But Mark, he's so great. And from what I can tell, just a great man. Not really sure what his deal is with the hand, but you know, his daughter, the hand he was dealt was his daughter is destined for greatness, and that's not his fault. I'm gonna send that little brat to boarding school,
hmm
like the stepmom in The Parent Trap, and keep Mark to myself. And that's my Mary. Let's go to Dave Barrett. Dave Berenato? When did you get here? Please, who are your picks?
I don't want to copy yours, so
It's fine if you do.
No. I can't kill Elektra. That'd be crazy. Well, okay, let's kill Elektra. Let's send her
Again.
back to the underworld with Ben Affleck. Like, she wants to be with him. We think maybe he's dead. Apparently I've been told he's alive. But I like to think that she, by dying, gets to go back and be with him. So I'll kill her. I'll fuck Typhoid. As Lady Gaga famously said, the one thing I haven't tried yet is death. So I'll try it and then come back, and I'll be alive again.
Okay.
I'll also marry Mark. Mark Miller, the character, shares a name with a gay YouTuber that I have a crush on. So Mark, if you're listening, call me.
Mark's our number one fan, actually.
It's crazy. I see him listen to this all the time.
Gorgeous
So
picks.
I'll marry him. Yeah.
Yeah.
lovely Mark.
Okay, we've got some Mark
Yeah,
competition.
I'll fight you for him, obviously.
Okay. Well, I'll have Elektra's forks from when we fork.
We each get one fork. I'll astral project. It has to be at my house, my parents' vacation home.
We'll work this out later. Caitlin Hollis, please give us your picks for Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Okay. I mean, mine's going to be a little. I'm going to kill Mark. Sorry.
Unreal.
Sorry to the boys.
Yeah. Sorry to this man. And then I'm going to. Here's my plan. I can fuck Typhoid. I can fork her through her bushes, and then
Iconic.
and then that'll kill me. But my wife is Elektra because I'm marrying her, so she can bring me back to life. So that's the long play.
That's actually smart.
Is
Very
that
strategic.
I can have like the most like deadliest romp in the hay. My like hot Jennifer Garner wife, Elektra, will bring me back, and like she'll be really distant and moody. Like it won't be a great marriage because she'll always be like off on assassin stuff, and I'll just be sitting in our like, you know, like generic Pacific Northwestern home, always Christmas, just waiting for her to come home. Because like I bought her these gifts and she's never home long enough to open them. But I love her. And I can't help it, you know.
Even when she gets a job for $2 million and doesn't do it.
Yeah, and I'm like, we've got to pay the bills.
Also, I don't think she'll be going assassin. We didn't talk about this, but her agent did get his head chopped off.
Do you think? Okay, so we didn't talk about apparently there were 12 frames away from a rated R rating.
Yep.
Yes.
I think that's the head chop off.
Probably.
I mean, maybe.
Right?
It wasn't that bloody. It was just kind of like,
Because it cuts awkwardly. It's like we see him and then like we're out.
then we don't.
Yeah, I bet, because I don't know where else it would be. So it's got to be the head, which was also
a 13-year-old
bummer
saying the F word.
because like later, like Stick is like, I thought of this whole plan. I was the one who got your agent to do this and all this stuff. I'm like, so you like orchestrated her friend's death.
Yeah.
Right.
But she's just like, oh, Stick, you got me back in the game. How'd you do it? Murdered your friend.
You wily old stick.
Poor agent. A pawn.
A pawn in the greater Elektra scheme. And y'all, that brings to a conclusion our discussion of Elektra. I can't believe I watched it, but I will say this, it wasn't as bad as I was led to believe. But it was bad. But it wasn't unwatchable, I would say.
It wasn't as girl boss as I was hoping.
It was bad enough that Marvel did not let another woman star in a movie for 15 years. So that's not great.
They were like, we got to cut this off the head. It's clearly
it's her fault. It's Jennifer Garner's fault.
Yeah, we always blame the woman. When we
Yeah.
don't let them star in movies.
that's why it's bad, because we had a woman star in a movie.
Yeah.
Jeepers creepers. Caitlin Hollis, where can people find you on the interwebs?
I am on Instagram and Twitter, the name's Hollis. Follow me, hang out. I only post about gay movies. So
Yes. No New Friends coming soon?
No New Friends. Yes, the movie that you star in will be coming soon. It's lovely. It was a lot of fun to make, and Damon has a fantastic performance in it. So you should all see it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Honestly, the most fun I've ever had filming anything. So thank you.
It was a blast, and all things should be made that way.
Yes. Thank you, Caitlin. Dave Berenato, I am so excited to never say your last name ever again, but where can people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dave Berenato. Listen back to this podcast and guess the spelling. I post on Instagram about once a year, but I'm thinking about posting a story today, so check that out.
Thinking about
it. Debating it.
Amazing. You can follow this podcast on Instagram at podcast616P3. That P3 stands for Press Play Podcasts, our podcasting network that so graciously lets us talk about Elektra. You fools. You can also follow me, Damon, at Dayman Royster on Instagram. That's DAYMANROYSTER. And everything's there in the bio. It's Illuminati Hour. This podcast. Figure it out. Producer Michael, if you want to hop on the podcast mic real quick. Could you let us know what letter grade would you give this podcast episode?
You guys did a good job being first timers. You guys lost the 616 virginity. So I'll give you guys a solid A.
Woo!
Yes.
Thank you.
Woo!
Hell yeah. And Michael, what letter grade would you give Elektra, the movie?
Dude, I'll give it an F minus.
Damn. That's
Yeah.
worse than a failure.
Mm.
Well, thank you, Caitlin. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Michael and Elektra. Thank you for dying for our sins. And until next time, don't forget that with great power comes even greater responsibility.